just like every other guest that visits the ride. Can't just let you hop in the ride, then hop up out the ride before we have a little fun with you, revisit your dream style. All right.
All right. All right.
So it's time for another installment of Off Top. Let's get it. All right, Michael, here's how this goes. I call out the name of a person, place, or thing, and you tell us in 30 seconds or less the first thing that comes to mind. Off top. Got it?
I'm with you. I'm with you. I'm doing my best.
Easy as that.
I hear you.
All right. All right, you ready?
Yes, sir.
Here we go. Off top. Infamous black film director Spike Lee.
Inspiration, Tougaloo College, Do the Right Thing, Breaking Barriers, just showing the epitome of what conflict looks like on film so that it's not just violence or something of that nature. It's thought provoking. It's taking people's minds to the next level. That's who Spike is and what he represents to me.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I thought you might have something to say about that. That was infamous black film director Spike Lee. All right. Off top. American author and Tougaloo College graduate Ann Moody.
Ooh, and Moody, coming of age in Mississippi. While I was teaching there, Miss Moody came to campus, and she was so generous to come speak to my class. I was able to drive she and her son to Canton, where she was from, and just her being a lodestar for me as a Tougaloo College student, but then meeting her personally and understanding the sacrifice that she and many others made so that we could stand here today and do what we do.
That's dope. Like I said, I thought also that you might know something about Miss Ann Moody being a Tougaloo College graduate, yourself and herself. That was American author and Tougaloo College graduate Ann Moody. All right, off top, Black Storytellers.
Ooh, wow. You know, the first person that comes to my mind is Ralph Ellison, Invisible Man. That book, just kind of really took my mind in a lot of different places. The way he wrote it, the depth of it, as a black man looking at how his character was fitting into society. So I think about Ralph Ellison. I think James Baldwin's Bigger Thomas. Man, there's so many storytellers. I think about those people because when I was younger, that's who I was reading. But of course, you got people like Ava DuVernay. I think about people like the brother who did Black Panther and did Creed, all the Creeds, whose name is escaping me at the moment. But I think about the fact now that we
Ryan
have
Coogler.
Ryan Coogler. We have an ocean of storytellers who can swim because people like Spike and like Oscar Micheal, and like the brother I can think his father. He directed the brother I'm thinking of. He directed the movie with Wesley Snipes and Ice T, but it's his father who was doing the black exploitation stage. I think about those earlier filmmakers, and for me, I think about Paul Robeson, not as much as someone who was writing the stories, but someone who was just a great actor, a great activist, an attorney, an athlete, and just someone who, throughout my knowledge of him, has been an inspiration because of his diversity and his excellence as an artist. Yeah, I was more
Yes, yes,
second.
yes. Thank you for that. Yeah, no, I appreciate that in depth. A lot of names, a lot of storytellers, a lot of passionate documentation of Black history, throughout those names you mentioned. So that was Black Storytellers. All right, off top, highly professional and creative film producer and videographer, Jabar Harper, aka Sleep.
Sleep is my brother. Uh, he's not a professional comedian, but he's got a lot of jokes. He's he's a visual genius who has the heart to contribute uh, at whatever level you meet him at. He can make what you are working on go to the next level. You don't have to have $1 million, even though he works with people who have that type of budget. He'll do what he can for you where you are, and you will see yourself as it relates to working with him going to the next level. And that's not just because of the art. That's also because of the heart.
The heart of the man, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Like I said, I have yet to meet him personally, but in the interactions we've had on social media and through the stories like yourself and through Just One, I feel like he's a brother that I would immediately be able to relate to. So I'm looking forward to it. We've talked, offline a couple times, but I'm looking forward to actually meeting him face to face one day here soon in
most definitely.
2026.
Yeah.
All right, that was the highly professional and creative film producer and videographer, Jabaar Harper. All right, off top, we got a couple more, a few more. Off top, influential voice of our people, Professor Angela Davis.
Ooh. I think about power. I think about community. I think about resilience. I think about her voice, her long-lasting impact, her not only willingness but ability to continue to push the envelope. There are people who started out with her who aren't here anymore, who aren't speaking the issues, but she continues to be a voice, and she continues to speak without fear. And so, I think when I think about Angela Davis, I think about people like, Malcolm and the Black Panthers in that time in which she lived, but she's still here. You know what I mean? And she's still
Mm-hmm.
speaking and she's still making a difference. And so I think about that level of resilience, and that level of, and what that takes. Cause again, like when we talk about Ann Moody, there's a lot of sacrifice that comes with not only, uh, being in the front the way she is, but also bearing the brunt of the things that confront our community. A lot of people would rather escape that, right? And say, as far as I can get away from black, I'm gonna do it because it seems like it would be an easier
Yeah,
life. But but people like Angela Davis say this is my cloak that God has blessed me to wear. I'm gonna not only wear it with pride, I'm gonna I'm gonna show it out. I'm gonna show up and show out every day with it. And that's what I think about Angela Davis.
yeah. Yes, yes. Very prominent, very impactful, a very strong voice for our people. If you don't know who Angela Davis is, Google her. Within 10 minutes, you'll realize the impact that she's had on Black people in America since her existence. I'll just
Yeah,
put it that way.
most definitely.
All right, that was the influential voice of our people, Professor Miss Angela Davis. All right, two more.
All right.
Off top, the historic Tougaloo College.
Oh my goodness, bro. I've written poetry about Tougaloo College.
Late night study sessions in Kinchlow Hall, holding hands and romancing beneath oak trees in fall, watching the frat step and hearing the various sorority calls. Yeah, that's Tougaloo College to me. Being immersed in our history and what it really means to be black. An oasis of community and culture that makes you want to give back. Professors who would pull you to the side because they cared when you were veering off track. That's Tougaloo College to me.
Tougaloo College is a haven. It was a slave plantation that was this white guy, John Bodie, I think his name was John. He proposed to this lady. She said no. The American Missionary Association bought the land, created a normal school that was Tougaloo, that became Tougaloo College in 1869. And it was there where I just met so many inspiring young people who were my age but not only were they like making great grades in school, they played classical piano, or they did, they were great visual artists. And then, and so that gave me more confidence. And so when I think about Tougaloo and its contribution to the civil rights movement, when I think about Tougaloo and how it takes young people who may not have the money, but they have the passion, and it puts them in this environment where they have mentors. It encourages them to be critical thinkers and activists. I think of it as holy ground, because that's what it is.
Holy ground. That's a great way to explain that, to describe a place that you feel so, that had basically birthed you, in a way, birthed the spirit of who Michael McLendon is. That's kind of how I feel about my experience at Tennessee State, but I can only imagine with the history of Tougaloo College, and where it's located, the size of the school, the amount of students there. It was such probably just a very viral, passionate experience that probably exists in your head as real today as it did when you were actually going through it.
It's hard for me to do Tougaloo College in 30 seconds because
I
it's
know.
it's tough. But that there's so many people, so many professors, from Elise White, my speech teacher, to Dr. Jerry Washington Ward, who taught honors English there, to some of the biology and chemistry teachers, just the whole community. And then I went back and taught there, and some of my students like Dr. Howard Ramsby, who is now teaching at Penn State, and just Benny Thompson, who is a U.S. Congressman, Derek Johnson, who I mentioned earlier, who is the president of the NAACP. There's so many folk, Nashambi Lambright, who used to be over at ACLU in Mississippi. Just so many people who we were kids, Dr. Tanya Tim, Michelle, we were kids together, but to see the wonderful things that they are doing and that we collectively are doing without necessarily not necessarily doing it to be recognized, but doing it because one of the places we were kind of intellectually baptized and socially baptized at was Tougaloo College, where they teach us that it's about the community and giving back to the community and doing whatever it takes to be a blessing to the collective, and not just kind of going out and just make a whole lot of money and saying my four is are taken care of.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that, Tougaloo College, just like most other HBCU experiences, especially the smaller campuses, um, create such a just amazing synergy that lasts most of your lifetimes. Almost every person that attended school, on that campus, especially during your time, probably have the exact same feeling about Tougaloo as you do, and
Yeah,
about their experience there. So that's the power of a HBCU.
that's
Ain't nothing like it. I
right.
wouldn't trade my HBCU experience for any other experience in the world, but and I know you wouldn't trade yours as well. All right, that was the historic Tougaloo College. All right, last one. Off top, the impact of Georgia's Stacey Abrams.
Wow. Shout out to Stacey Abrams. I think she just one of her parents just passed, and as you may know, that her parents went to Tougaloo. But she is a force, has been and will continue to be, to not only analyze and let us know what's happening, not only a political force in that, she was very influential in her run for office, but she has a way of breaking down and analyzing how things happen. You've probably seen this clip where she's on one of the late night shows and she's talking about, how democracies kind of are dismantled by someone who wants to be a dictator in the different stages. And she just kind of lays that out, point by point. So she has the ability to kind of look at a situation, analyze it, and then translate it in a way that we can all understand it, and then move forward in a way that's empowering and beneficial to us all. So I appreciate what she has done, is doing, and will do for our community in particular.
Yes, yes, I totally agree. I'm not a resident of the state of Georgia, but across America, if you're black, and you vote, you should know who Stacey Abrams is, no matter whether you live in the state of Georgia or not, because her voice represents many of us across the country. I appreciate your response to that. I had no idea her parents went to Tougaloo College. So
Come on now.
it's just right in line. Like, great question. I thought it would be interesting to hear your take with you being in the state of Georgia, living in the state of Georgia, you being involved with the social justice community out there, that you might have a take on it. But I had no idea her parents went to Tougaloo, so that's pretty dope. Thank you very much for that. Was the final final one on off top, the impact of Georgia's Stacey Abrams. Man, I appreciate that. It was a great ride. You did very well. You
I
had some
appreciate you.
solid responses to all of them, and they all seem to be somewhat relevant to your journey. As a student and as a current professional in activism and social justice. So that was great, man. Thank you for joining me on that fun game of off top.